In the heart of the 20th century, a crucial event was poised to change the course of history. Situate yourself in a subcontinent under the British Empire's control, where India, a land of enormous diversity and cultural wealth, was considered the crown's jewel. However, it was also here that nationalism began to take root. The early 20th century saw a wave of campaigns demanding liberation from British rule. From the towering Himalayas to the southernmost point of Kanyakumari, a unified desire for freedom prevailed among Indians. Nevertheless, the call for liberation was not a harmonious chorus. Varied voices and visions emerged for what a free India should be. Key figures such as Mohandas K. Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru from the Indian National Congress advocated for a united India, a secular country where all faiths coexist peacefully. At the same time, another vision was gaining momentum. The Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, believed that India's Muslims required their own homeland, a space free from the fear of marginalization in a Hindu-majority India. This understanding led to the inception of Pakistan's idea. The mid-20th century was a period of political unrest and societal disarray. As the British Empire exhibited signs of faltering, Indian subcontinent leaders were preparing for independence's imminent arrival. However, this independence was not a peaceful dawn. It was a dawn that would usher in the grim reality of partition and the birth of two nations. The stage was set for a seismic shift, a partition that would forever alter the map of South Asia. As the clock ticked towards independence, a fateful decision loomed. The British Raj was nearing its end, and the land that it once ruled was bracing for change. The hot topic of discussion was, how would India, a country rich with myriad cultures and religions, transition to self-governance? The imminent partition was proposed via the Mountbatten Plan. This plan, named after the final Viceroy of India, Lord Louis Mountbatten, laid out a roadmap for division. It suggested the bifurcation of British India into two sovereign dominions, India and Pakistan. Pakistan was destined to be a new homeland for Muslims, while India would stay a secular state with a Hindu majority. The Mountbatten Plan was pitched as a way to prevent civil war and maintain peace amidst a tense political climate. The reaction to this decision was mixed. The Indian National Congress, helmed by Jawaharlal Nehru, grudgingly approved the plan. They viewed a temporary division as a better alternative to a drawn-out power struggle. Conversely, the Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, embraced the concept of a separate Muslim nation, thus endorsing the Mountbatten Plan. The responsibility of defining the borders of the new nations fell upon the British lawyer Cyril Radcliffe, who had never set foot in India before. Radcliffe was given a mere 5 weeks to carve out the borders, a feat that would affect millions based on their religious identity. However, the borders he drew under extreme time pressure left much to be desired. The partition of Punjab and Bengal was especially contentious, sparking a controversy that is alive even today. The Mountbatten Plan and Radcliffe's partition, though designed to avoid conflict, ironically set the stage for one of the most chaotic eras in South Asian history. The lines drawn on a map were about to ignite a mass migration and a tragic loss of life. The ink had barely dried on the map when the largest mass migration in human history began. Amidst a period of rampant change, countless individuals found themselves uprooted from their ancestral homes, setting off on a hazardous journey towards an uncertain future. As the line of partition sliced the subcontinent, it did not just divide territories, but also shattered communities, families, friendships. The map's transformation left lasting scars on those who found themselves on an unexpected side of the line. A subsequent period of chaos and confusion transpired as displaced people scrambled to comprehend their new reality. The magnitude of this human was astounding. Approximately 15 million souls found themselves abruptly relocated during this frenzied period. Hindus and Sikhs migrated towards India, while Muslims journeyed towards Pakistan. The once familiar roads were filled with endless lines of displaced people, carrying their lives on their heads and backs, their faces mirroring the agony of leaving home. Yet, this migration was not merely a colossal displacement. It was also a time of horrifying violence. Tensions ignited by the partition exploded into gruesome acts of aggression, claiming up to 2 million lives. Relationships turned sour as brother fought brother, neighbor turned against neighbor. It was a period marked by immeasurable sorrow and loss, a haunting chapter in human history. Nevertheless, even in the direst conditions, human resilience shone. People shared scarce resources, aided each other, and formed new communities in the lands they were forced to adopt. They brought along their culture, traditions, and memories, carrying with them the hope of a brighter future. In the midst of chaos and violence, two new nations emerged, forever scarred by the events of their birth. The legacy of this great migration continues to shape the destinies of India and Pakistan, serving as a powerful reminder of a past that must not be erased. The sun rose on two new nations, their futures intertwined with a shared and painful past. The partition of 1947 marked a time of massive upheaval for India and Pakistan. A refugee crisis emerged, displacing millions and straining resources to their limits. Families were severed, communities uprooted, and cities overpopulated. The socio-economic challenges were immense as both nations had to rebuild their economies. Trade routes were disoriented, industries split, and lands left barren. The task of recovery was daunting, yet both nations showed remarkable resilience. The political tension that ensued post-partition left deep scars, breeding mistrust and animosity. Diplomatic relations dwindled, marking the partition as a defining moment in their history. It shaped the political, economic, and social landscapes, becoming a lived reality for millions. The echoes of the partition continued to reverberate in the of millions, shaping the destiny of both nations. More than 7 decades later, the partition of continues to cast a long shadow over India and Pakistan. The partition, a significant event, left enduring imprints on both nations. The drawn political boundaries couldn't sever emotional and cultural ties. The partition seeded conflicts like the Kashmir dispute, a point between both nations. Yet cultural exchanges tell a different tale. Shared linguistic, artistic, and culinary traditions reflect a shared history. The popularity of Bollywood in Pakistan and Pakistani music in India demonstrates these cultural ties. The partition underlines the need for tolerance and peaceful coexistence. The opening of the Kartarpur corridor, a visa-free passage for Sikh pilgrims, signifies hope for peace and cooperation. The partition of 1947, a momentous event that forever changed the course of history, continues to shape the narratives and identities of India and Pakistan.